I started into the EMS business in the early 70s, and all the way through the 70s and into the early 80s, we dealt with ambulances that we just expected to break down. Okay, the charging systems were overloaded. The air conditioning system would fail because they basically took one system and split it into two, and probably didn't do it correct. Otherwise, it probably would have worked. And cooling system problems, you know, splitting the cooling system and so on. So, you know, but the electrical problems were the big ones. And back in, I guess it was '84, I saw the prototype that Frazer built for the city of Houston that actually used the concept of a separate 12-volt generating engine, and thought, well, that's an interesting concept. And I even had my gears turning then of, well, if you can do that with an engine, why couldn't you do it with a generator? And Houston was having pretty good success with it. So I thought, well, I'm going to go over and talk to Frazer and see what they're doing. And sure enough, they had already built a demo that had a generator. It was a very, very plain Jane stripped down model, but I thought, wow, this is the concept we need, because it did not rely on the truck for air conditioning or electrical. And so at the time I was working as an operations director with Kingwood Emergency Medical Service, and we asked Frazer to come out and show us that demo unit, and John Griffin brought it out, showed it to us, and we were at the time in the process of buying an ambulance, and I told my board of directors that this is what I want to buy, and realizing that if we put an order in for it now, when we take delivery of it, it'll be the actual first one to ever hit the streets that was generator powered. And they were a little skeptical. They said, you know, this is a new concept. Why do you think this will work, and what if it doesn't? I said, well, I don't think what if it doesn't fits into the equation. I said, this is what we've needed in this industry for years, and I have all the confidence in the world that it's going to work. And so they said, fine, let's give it a whirl. And so we ordered the first one, and we got our order in and just ahead of the city of Houston, and so we consequently got the first one to hit the streets. And I've never looked back on that decision. That was the best decision we ever made for an ambulance, and to this day, I would not even consider buying anything else. Even in the very first Frazer unit, their electrical wiring system for the ambulance module was probably 10% the size of other manufacturers. In other words, they reduced all of the wiring and electrical components probably by 90%. Over the years, we've probably seen that reduced even another 50 to 75% with the new technology that Frazer's putting in the units. And so we're seeing, instead of having like one big full compartment full of electrical, we're seeing a partial compartment, maybe a third of a compartment in electrical, and the components basically don't fail. And when they do, it's very easy to troubleshoot, and very easy to, if it needs to be fixed by Frazer, that's very easy to do. Otherwise, it's something that we can troubleshoot, or they can troubleshoot with us over the phone. Fortunately, that doesn't happen very often, and that's the beautiful thing about the Frazer units. And you know, I'll brag to people that I'll take my entire fleet of Frazer units and put them against the maintenance that they have on 1 year of one unit, and beat them hands down. We just don't have the maintenance problems with them. So, but the biggest change, and of course, a new style generator being quieter, which even the old ones weren't that loud. But you know, they're up on changes in technology. They listen to the users. They listen to the people that are actually out there on the streets, and tell them that it would be nice if you could do this or you could do that, and guess what? That's what you see on their next production. So that's what it's all about.